In this video, we will learn about the punctuations and the writing style of C++ language. And just like in any other language, punctuations are very important in C++ language as well. So, the first punctuation is the semicolon. Semicolon marks the end of a statement. Whatever statement we'll write in C++, we will have to end it with a semicolon. The second one is blocks. So blocks are a set of logically connected statements. Let's have a look at the same Hello World program which we have been dealing with. So here you can see all these statements end with a semicolon right over here. And you can see these pair of braces indicating a block. So this block closes these two statements which are logically connected together. How? Because both of them are part of this function main. So both of them are logically connected, and hence we bind them through these curly braces and make it a block. Next up is identifiers. So identifiers are the names which we use to identify our variables, our functions, classes, and any other thing which we define. Identifiers are case sensitive in C++. So for example, if you name some variable, say sum, so sum in lowercase alphabets and sum in uppercase alphabets or in mixed case would all be considered separate identifiers. Now there are some rules which you need to follow to make valid identifiers. Your identifiers must contain only alphabets, that is your uppercase and lowercase alphabets, digits and underscore. Nothing more is allowed. You cannot start with a digit. You can have digits in between at the end, but you cannot start with a digit. You need to start with either an alphabet or an underscore. So no special characters are allowed. Only one character, which is underscore, is allowed, and no other special character is allowed in the name of an identifier. Then there are keywords. So keywords are reserved words. You cannot use them as identifiers. You cannot name your variables with keywords because they are reserved. So here is a list of the various keywords that are available in C++ language. You can have a look if you want, but you don't need to memorize them. If by some mistake you tend to use a keyword as your identifier, suppose you don't know that such a keyword exists and you are naming your variable with that, so code blocks, the IDE code blocks will prevent such misuse of keywords by highlighting the keyword with a certain color. So let's try it out. For example, for is a keyword here. So in our code, let's try to write for. So I write F and O, it's written in black. As soon as I write an R and make it for, it gets converted to a different color. So these different colors indicate some words which are keywords. So you cannot use them as your variable names. You use them carefully because they are reserved and you do not want to misuse them. Then there are comments. So comments are again an essential part of C++ code. Comments are lines in any language, in your favorite language, which makes it easier for you to understand your code later. Suppose you are seeing your code after a month or after an year maybe. So you won't remember the exact logic which you thought of while writing the code. So to make it easier for you to understand the code or somebody else to understand your code, you write comments. Comments are removed by the compiler during pre-processing stage only. And there are two types of comments. single line comments and multiple line comments. Let's try to have a look at both of them. So single line comment would start with two slashes. So I'll write this prints the string within double quotes. So, but if I press an enter now and now I type something else, you will see the color has again changed to black. So this is no longer the part of comment. So by using this double slash, you can write single line comments, but only that. What if you wish to write lines that extend to 2 or 3 lines and you wish to make them a comment? So for example, a comment in the starting indicating what your program is all about, who is the creator of this program, when was it created, and all that. So you need to make a multi-line comment for this. For this, we write a slash, a star, then end it with another star and slash. And within it, we write a multi-line comment. So maybe I'll write, this is the basic hello world program. And then I'll write, by fearless coding. So this extends over to 3 lines, and all these 3 lines are a multiple line comment, so indicated by a star and a slash. So this is all about comments. Then we have white spaces. White spaces are just your blank spaces, your tabs, new lines and comments. All these are considered to be white spaces. So there are certain necessary white spaces which would separate the different parts of your statement. For example, in this program, there is a white space between integer and main. So if I remove this white space, int main becomes a single word altogether. It is no longer recognizable as int and main, denoting integer and our main function respectively. So a white space over here is a necessary white space. Then we have certain unnecessary white spaces. So unnecessary white spaces are just included to enhance the readability of your code. So in our code, we have many enters. So if I remove this enter from here or any of the other enters, this is not going to make any difference. If I build and run it, it's going to execute successfully and correctly, because this enter is not creating any difference for the compiler. It's just increasing our understanding of the code, our readability of the code. So this is an unnecessary white space.